Hello, and welcome back to another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today, we're looking at 10 of the biggest man-made structures. Once humans decided that caves were a little 50,000 BC, we began to build bigger and better structures of our own, from huts to castles to palaces, and now, well, this is taking it too far actually. Number 10. Australian Highway Network. The largest continuous structures that we've created are our highways, and Australia holds the longest, Highway 1. It loops its way right around the country, totaling about 9,000 miles. It was compiled from existing roads and tracks in 1955, and the roads still vary a lot, going from multi-lane freeways around the big cities to a single-lane road in northern Queensland, which is probably just for one guy called Dave. The fastest ever trip around Highway 1 was 6 days, 17 hours, 6 minutes by Rich Wiley and Gary Van Straten in 1987 on Kawasaki motorbikes. Number 9. Tesla Gigafactory. Elon Musk is intent on inhabiting Mars, but he's also doing a good job of taking over the Earth by creating the building with the largest footprint, the Tesla Gigafactory. It covers 5.5 million square feet, which is about 100 football fields, enough space for about 1 million people to stand, which is maybe where we will be imprisoned when the Tesla robot army decides us puny humans have had our time. Musk himself even stated that it will produce batteries so quickly they will come out faster than bullets from machine guns. Yeah, I'm calling this one. He's definitely building a robot army. Number 8. Arium. Just outside Berlin is a giant white bubble, which is the largest freestanding hall in the world. Originally, it was called Arium and was built by a company called Cargo Lifter, who intended to use it to build and test airships. But the company went bust and was bought by a Malaysian company in 2003. It's now known as Tropical Islands Resort, and the giant space of almost 200 million cubic feet is a beach resort with the largest indoor jungle in the world. You can swim, race down slides, and even camp out overnight while the harsh Berlin winter snows outside the dome. Number 7. Aalsmeer Auction Building. 13 kilometers from Amsterdam is a gigantic building where shipments arrive daily from exotic places like Colombia and Morocco. But rather than Tony Montana's head office, this is actually a flower market and the world's largest auction. It's almost the size of the Tesla factory, and some 20 million flowers are sold every day. I guess the Dutch just have very apologetic boyfriends. Number 6. Boeing Everett Factory. At 500 million cubic feet, the Boeing Everett Aircraft Factory has the biggest volume of any building ever built. It's so large that it has systems in place to deal with the microclimate that is created inside. When it first opened, they realized clouds would form at the top, so they had to create a better circulation system as indoor rain would really ruin your lunch break. To make sure staff don't die of exhaustion just getting to the toilets, there are over 1,000 bicycles and trikes for them to get about on. Number 5. Kunshan Grand Bridge. This is our world's longest bridge and helps carry the high-speed rail line that connects Beijing and Shanghai. The bridge is 102.4 miles long but only around 5 miles of that is to cross a large stretch of open water. It's mostly to avoid sending super-fast trains right through the paddy fields below, which would probably fry the rice before you even got it off the plant. It cost $8.5 billion, and they managed to put it up in just 4 years, claiming it's strong enough to survive typhoons, a Factor 8 earthquake, and an impact similar to a 300,000-ton vessel. That's a ship about 6 times the size of the Titanic. Number 4. The Great Wall of China. Of course, China has a proud history of big builds that span the country, with the famous Great Wall. Its length is actually up for a lot of debate, but even the shortest estimate is 5,500 miles. As a comparison, if Trump completes his Mexican border wall, it will only be about 1,900 miles. One archaeological survey reported that the entire wall, with all of its branches, spanned some 13,171 miles. The first parts were built around 200 BC by the Qin dynasty, costing up to 1 million lives during their construction. But it wasn't until the 14th century that work began again, which is an incredibly long break, even for a construction worker.
Emperor Qin conquered the 6 other dynasties at the time and unified them into what is today known as China. He then began building a wall that was expanded over the next 1,800 years, the Great Wall of China.
When Emperor Qin, the first emperor in China, he was enthroned actually for only 15 years, but he spent 10 years building the Great Wall. And according to the historical records, 1/5 of the whole population in China at that time were involved in the construction of the Great Wall.
Number 3. Rungrado 1st of May Stadium. When it comes to sports stadiums, there is one clear winner. So, who owns this colossus? The US? China? Brazil, maybe? Actually, it's the sporting powerhouse of North Korea. That's right, at 2.2 million square feet and a rumored capacity of 150,000. It's home to the North Korean football team, ranked 76 in the world. Of course, in North Korea, they know that this ranking is false and they are the greatest team in the world. And Kim Jong-un once scored 300 goals for Barcelona in just one season. When there's no football on, the stadium has also been used to show the live burning of generals who were involved in an assassination attempt on Kim Jong-il in the late 90s. They lost 3-0. Number 2. Meyer Werft Dry Dock. The biggest ports are all in China, but the largest dry dock is in Papenburg, Germany. Dock Hall 2 is actually the 4th largest usable space in the world, after the Boeing factory, the French Airbus factory, and Tropical Island. It produces ferries, gas tankers, and can make up to 3 cruise ships per year. It attracts almost 300,000 tourists a year, since it's much cheaper just to go stare at a ship being built than to actually go on holiday on one. Number 1. Dubai Mall. Although when it comes to shopping, there are bigger shopping centers, the Dubai Mall covers the most land thanks to the huge amount of other entertainment it contains. Its 12 million square feet contain the usual retail and dining you'd expect from a mall, but there's also an aquarium, an ice rink, a 22-screen cinema, as well as game zones and kids' spaces. It's by far the most visited place on the planet, with over 80 million people going in 2015. That's over double Times Square. To give you some perspective, if all those people stayed, they'd become the world's 18th biggest country. And they'd all have very expensive handbags. Thanks for watching another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. And remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.
Please subscribe to Daily Top 10. Woo! Please subscribe to Daily Top 10. Please subscribe to Daily Top 10. Woo!